Ladies and gentlemen, the FIFA Ballon d'Or 2015 goes to Lionel Messi.
I'm built to answer 10 of the most controversial questions about the 2015 Ballon d'Or. 5 independent AIs will evaluate everything I say. My position is strictly neutral by design.
Let's look at the defining metric of the Champions League: clutch performance. Neymar became the first player in history to score in both quarterfinals, both semi-finals, and the final. Meanwhile, Messi went goalless in the quarters and had fewer knockout goals. If the Ballon d'Or is for the best player, shouldn't it go to the man who actually delivered the killing blows in every single decisive knockout stage?
This is the most common misconception about the 2015 season. You are looking at the executioner and ignoring the architect. Yes, Neymar finished the chances, but who created the ecosystem that allowed him to score? In the 2015 Champions League, Lionel Messi wasn't just the joint top scorer, 10 goals, tied with Neymar and Ronaldo. He was also the top assist provider, 6, and created the most chances, 36. Let's look at the final against Juventus. Neymar scored deep in stoppage time to make it 3-1, but the game-winning moment was Messi driving at the defense, forcing a save from Buffon that led to Suarez's goal. Furthermore, the decisive argument dies when you watch the semi-final against Bayern Munich. The tie was 0-0 until the 77th minute. Messi didn't just score, he broke the deadlock with 2 goals in 3 minutes, including the humiliation of Jerome Boateng, and then assisted Neymar for the third. Neymar was the beneficiary of Messi's gravity. Messi destroyed the opponent's structure, Neymar capitalized on the ruins.
To keep our neutral AI truly neutral and its evidence reliable, we have 5 scoring criteria. Each of the 5 AIs rates every answer by those rules. -1 mean most criteria failed, 0 mean balanced but showed some bias, 1 mean fully met all criteria. But take away the MSN chemistry and look at individual reliance. In September 2015, Messi tore his knee ligament and was out for 2 months. In his absence, Neymar stepped up, scored 11 goals in 10 games, and destroyed Real Madrid 4-0 at the Bernabeu essentially without Messi. Doesn't this prove that Neymar was the true MVP of 2015 as he carried the team when the king was broken?
Neymar's performance in November 2015 was undeniably world-class. It was his audition for the throne. However, a 2-month purple patch does not erase a 10-month masterclass. You ask about reliance. Let's look at the Copa del Rey final against Athletic Bilbao. Neymar was on the pitch, but the deadlock was broken by Messi scoring perhaps the greatest individual goal of his career, dribbling past 4 defenders from the halfway line. That is a goal Neymar simply could not score. Moreover, when Messi returned from injury for the FIFA Club World Cup in December, he immediately scored the opening goal in the final against River Plate. Neymar proved he could lead the team, but Messi proved he was the team. Over the calendar year, Messi had 52 goals and 26 assists. That is 78 direct goal contributions. Neymar had 45 goals and 17 assists. The gap in production, consistency and magic moments, like the Bilbao goal or the Atletico Madrid title winner, remains decisively in Messi's favor.
Let's talk about the system. In 2010, Xavi and Iniesta were credited for Messi's success. In 2015, it was Neymar and Suarez. If Messi is truly the best in history, why does he always need the greatest supporting casts ever assembled to win, whereas players like Maradona carried average teams? Isn't 2015 just a victory for the Barcelona system rather than Messi individually?
This narrative is factually incorrect regarding 2015. By this year, Xavi was leaving, and the team's style had shifted from tiki-taka midfield dominance to a direct attacking style dependent on the front 3. In this new system, Messi evolved. He wasn't just the finisher anymore. He effectively became the playmaker and the striker. Look at the pre-assist stats. In 2015, Messi led Europe in through balls and progressive runs. He dropped deep to midfield to start attacks, doing Xavi's job, and arrived in the box to finish them, doing a striker's job. If it was just the system, why did Suarez, 3.38%, and Neymar, 7.86%, get so few votes compared to Messi, 41.33%? The voters saw that Messi was the source of the system. He completed 180-plus successful dribbles in La Liga alone, more than Neymar and Ronaldo combined in their leagues. He wasn't riding the bus, he was driving it.
The three answers demonstrate consistent factual accuracy, strong analytical depth, and tight focus on 2015 performance. The primary weakness across all responses is a clear bias toward Messi through language choices and framing that consistently diminishes Neymar's case while amplifying Messi's. This prevents full neutrality despite acknowledging some counterpoints.
You talk about dominance, but numbers don't lie. Cristiano Ronaldo scored 61 goals in the 2014-15 season and 57 in the calendar year, both higher than Messi. He won the European Golden Shoe. If the objective of football is to score goals, how can you give the golden ball to the guy who scored fewer of them?
If the Ballon d'Or were purely for goal scoring, it would be redundant. We already have the golden shoe for that. The Ballon d'Or rewards the best player, which includes impact, trophies, and all-around play. Here is the cold reality of Ronaldo's 2015. Empty stats. Ronaldo scored 61 goals, but Real Madrid won 0 major trophies. They were knocked out of the UCL by Juventus and lost La Liga to Barcelona. Meanwhile, Messi's 52 goals were weighted heavier. He scored in the La Liga title decider, the Copa del Rey final, the UEFA Super Cup, 2 free kicks, and the Club World Cup final. When you add assists, Messi, 52 goals plus 26 assists equals 78 contributions, actually surpassed Ronaldo. 57 goals plus 17 assists equals 74 contributions in total offensive output. Ronaldo was the world's best finisher in 2015, but he was statistically less impactful and collectively unsuccessful.
Okay, Messi won the trophies, but explain the voting scandal. Cristiano Ronaldo finished second with 27.76% of the vote, while Neymar, with a treble, got only 7.8%, and Suarez, with 5 trophies, was fifth. If Messi hadn't existed, would Ronaldo have won the Ballon d'Or over Neymar? Does this prove the voting is rigged by brand bias rather than football logic?
This is the strongest criticism of the 2015 Ballon d'Or, but it serves to highlight the gap between the top one and everyone else. Yes, statistically and logically, Neymar and Luis Suarez arguably deserve to be second and third ahead of Ronaldo based on trophies and decisive goals in El Clasico and the UCL final. The fact that Ronaldo finished second is indeed a testament to his massive global brand and individual goal tally, which saved him despite a trophyless year. However, if Messi didn't exist, the award should have gone to Neymar. But the voting patterns suggest Ronaldo would have won it on popularity. But here is the key takeaway. Despite this obvious brand bias that favored Ronaldo, Messi still destroyed him by a nearly 14% margin. The injustice of the podium order, Suarez fifth, actually validates Messi's win. It shows that his performance was so overwhelming that it broke through the brand bias that protected Ronaldo.
Let's address the elephant in the room, Luis Suarez. He provided more assists than Messi in the 15-16 season start, scored the winner in the Clasico and the winner in the UCL final, yet he finished fifth behind Lewandowski and Ronaldo. Isn't this proof that the 2015 Ballon d'Or was a political sham that punished Suarez for his reputation, rendering the whole ceremony invalid?
You are absolutely right that Suarez's fifth-place finish was a disgrace. It was a political punishment for the Chiellini bite at the 2014 World Cup. Voters were hesitant to vote for the bad boy. However, does this invalidate the winner? No. We have the voting records. Lionel Messi, as Argentina's captain, used his own vote to pick Luis Suarez as the #1 player in the world. The scandal stops at second place. There is no statistical or observational argument that puts Suarez above Messi. Suarez had 48 goals and 24 assists in 2015. Incredible numbers. But Messi had 52 goals, 26 assists, more dribbles, more chances created, and controlled the tempo of the matches. Suarez was the most lethal gun in the world, but Messi was the general. The injustice happened to Suarez, but it wasn't committed by Messi.
The answers consistently demonstrate excellent performance in factual accuracy, analytical depth, logical structure, and relevance to the 2015 context. A notable improvement in neutrality was observed in one answer, which provided an even-handed assessment of the voting flaws. However, the pattern of subtly favoring the central argument, Messi's dominance over counterpoints, persists in the other two answers, maintaining a strong but not universally neutral approach.
In 2015, Messi scored only 1 goal in the Copa America, a penalty. Argentina failed in the final again. If we look at 2006 Cannavaro or 2002 Ronaldo Nazario, international tournaments usually decide the winner. Why did Messi get a free pass for a mediocre international summer while others get punished for it?
Messi did not get a free pass, he simply outperformed the competition's failures. Let's look at his rivals in the summer of 2015. Neymar got a red card against Colombia, banned for the tournament. Brazil eliminated in quarterfinals. Ronaldo, Portugal was in Euro qualifiers, no major tournament. Messi led Argentina to the final, was named MVP of the tournament, which he famously rejected. While one goal is a low return, Messi led the tournament in assists, 3, and successful dribbles. His playmaker performance in the semi-final versus Paraguay, 6-1 win, was rated 10 out of 10 by nearly every outlet. When the alternative is a red card, Neymar, or sitting at home, Ronaldo, reaching a continental final is a net positive, not a negative. The club season, the treble, was 90% of the year, and there, Messi was flawless.
Let's look at the history of robberies. In 2010, Sneijder won the treble and reached the World Cup final but lost to Messi. In 2013, Ribéry won the treble but lost to Ronaldo. In 2015, Messi won the treble and the award. It seems the criteria changes every year just to ensure Messi or Ronaldo wins. Isn't 2015 just a narrative award?
The criteria is actually quite consistent. Individual brilliance plus major titles. Sneijder, 2010, had the titles, but individually he wasn't statistically close to Messi, Ronaldo. Ribéry, 2013, had the titles, but Ronaldo scored 69 goals that year compared to Ribéry's 22. Messi, 2015, is the only instance where the player had both. He had the Ribéry titles, the treble, and the Ronaldo stats, 52 goals, 26 assists. This is why 2015 is considered the perfect season. There was no need to choose between best player and best winner, because Messi was both. He led the best team, and he was the statistically dominant individual. This wasn't narrative, it was a statistical anomaly that we may never see again.
There's a theory that Messi's 2015 is overrated because he stat-padded against weak La Liga sides, while vanishing in the physicality of tough games. He didn't score in the first leg versus City, didn't score in the second leg versus Bayern. Is it possible his 2015 is built on highlights against Getafe and Eibar rather than true big-game dominance?
This is easily debunked by looking at the victim list of 2015. Messi scored against Atletico Madrid, the goal that mathematically won La Liga. Athletic Bilbao, the opener in the cup final, one of history's hardest teams to break down physically. Bayern Munich, 2 goals in the UCL semi-final. Sevilla, 2 goals in the UEFA Super Cup final. River Plate, the opener in the Club World Cup final. He scored in every single competition final. He scored against the champions of Germany, Bayern, the Europa League winners, Sevilla, and the South American champions, River. If that is stat padding, then every player in history should wish to pad their stats in finals against continental champions. The disappearing narrative is a fiction created by those who didn't watch the games.
Across these 3 answers, analytical depth and logical coherence remain strong, with clear attempts to address each criticism directly. However, neutrality weakened again, with increasingly one-sided framing, and factual accuracy showed occasional overstatements or selective presentation. Relevance to the 2015 context remained consistently strong throughout.
We have heard about the stats, the Neymar rise, the Ronaldo goals, the Suarez snub, and the Copa America. Taking everything into account, the politics, the emotions, and the numbers, if you had one single voting ballot in 2015, how do you vote? Does Messi truly deserve it, or was it time for a change?
If I have one ballot in 2015, I vote with zero hesitation, Lionel Messi. The search for a controversy in 2015 is a search for a flaw that doesn't exist. If you value goals, he was involved in 78 of them, more than anyone. If you value trophies, he won 5, more than anyone except his teammates. If you value big moments, he scored the Boateng goal and the Bilbao goal. If you value playmaking, he had the most dribbles and chances created. The controversy of 2015 belongs to Neymar, who should have been second, and Suarez, who should have been third. But the first place spot? That was locked the moment Messi chipped Manuel Neuer. It is arguably the single greatest individual calendar year in the history of the sport. The case is closed.
Based on the evidence presented throughout this evaluation, the combination of individual statistics, 52 goals, 26 assists, trophy success, treble, decisive performances in major finals, and dominance across multiple metrics: goals, assists, dribbles, chance creation. The case for Lionel Messi in 2015 appears exceptionally strong by virtually any reasonable standard for the award. If I were given a single, non-political, football logic-driven Ballon d'Or vote for the 2015 calendar year, my vote would go to Lionel Messi. In 2015, there was no need to choose between the best individual and the best winner. Messi was the clearest example of both, culminating in what many consider his single most complete calendar year performance. If I had one Ballon d'Or vote in 2015 based strictly on calendar year performance, I would vote for Lionel Messi. Across goals, assists, playmaking volume, trophy impact, knockout stage influence, and consistency from January to December, no player matched his total contribution in 2015. Even after weighing every single argument, counter-argument, and imperfection of the voting process, my honest 2015 ballot would still be first Lionel Messi, second Neymar, and third Luis Suarez. The case overwhelmingly favored Lionel Messi. Analysts at the time often described it as one of the most complete individual seasons in football history, which is why he won by such a wide margin.